The fancy lights at Ashford Manor were really pretty, like they had caught the light from the stars. They made colors dance across the floors. Emma Whitmore was standing at the edge of the room wearing a beautiful green dress that flowed around her. She was watching the people, both human and supernatural, talking to each other under decorations of white roses and silver ribbons. The Moonlight Gala happened every year. It was a big deal. People had been doing it for a long time. It was a time when old friends got together and new friends were made. The Moonlight Gala was something that people looked forward to all year. Emma Whitmore was at the Moonlight Gala. She was seeing all the important people, from the supernatural society and the human society. Emma took a cup of wine from a servant who was walking by. The wine had a cool glow to it. People said that the wine was made special by the priestesses of the moon. They put in some herbs that were supposed to help Emma feel things deeply and understand things better. Everyone at the ceremony drank the wine. It was something that people did every time. Emma drank the wine too because it was a tradition, with the wine. "To beginnings," Emma's cousin Victoria said, showing up beside her with a smile. The smile did not really go all the way to her eyes. Victoria picked up her glass and held it up high. Her blonde hair was fixed right and her blue eyes sparkled with something that Emma could not figure out. Emma touched her glass to Victoria's and then to Celeste's, her cousin. Celeste was now standing on the side of Emma. The wine was really good. It tasted like honey and flowers. It was sweet. It made Emma feel warm inside as she swallowed it. Emma took a sip of the wine. She started to feel better. The tension in her shoulders began to go. Emma was feeling more relaxed now as she drank the wine. Celeste said, "This is really great." Celeste murmured, her voice is very smooth. "Everyone who is important is here tonight at this party. There are many good chances for the people to meet and talk to each other and make some connections, with Celeste and the other people." Emma nodded. She felt really weird all of a sudden. The room was like it was moving to the beat of the music. The people talking around her were loud one minute, quiet the next. It was like she was swimming underwater and everything was muffled. She closed her eyes, opened them again, trying to see things clearly. When she looked up, she saw that there were a lot more chandeliers than before. The light they gave off was too strong, it was making her feel uncomfortable. The music and the lights and the voices were all mixing together, making Emma feel dizzy. Emma said she needed some air. She put down her glass of drink. It was half empty. Her fingers were shaking badly. She walked through the crowd, her steps were not steady, she had to think about every breath. The ballroom was really hot. It felt like it was pushing against her skin. The ballroom was making her feel bad. She had to get out of the ballroom, she had to find a quiet place where she could think without any trouble. The ballroom was not a place for her to be right now. The hallway past the ballroom doors was really dark and thankfully empty. Emma leaned against the wall, put her hand on her forehead. She was sweating a lot along her hairline. Something was not right. This was not normal all. The wine had affected Emma in a way, it had done something to Emma that was more than just making Emma drunk. She started walking. She did not know where she was going. The manor was really big. Had a lot of hallways and staircases. The manor was so big that it was easy to get lost in it. She was not thinking clearly. Everything in the manor looked different to her. She turned a corner, ran into someone. This made them both stumble and almost fall. The manor was still a place to her. She had just collided with someone in the manor. Somebody had a grip on her arms and that helped her to stop swaying. Emma looked up at the person holding her. She could not breathe for a moment. The strong hands of this person were still wrapped around her arms, holding her steady. Emma looked up into the face of the person who was holding her. That was when she saw him, the person with the strong hands. The man standing in front of her was really tall with a face that looked like it was made to be perfect. His hair was very dark, almost black. It went down to his shoulders in big waves that shone in the light from the lamp. What really caught her attention was his eyes. The man's eyes were a color, like silver that is melting, and they looked very old. The man's eyes were looking at her with the confusion that she was feeling about the man. "Forgive me," he said, his voice was really deep. "I was not paying attention to where I was going, I was just walking and I did not see you, the person I bumped into, I mean the person that's you." "Neither was I," Emma said. It was hard for her to talk. It felt like she was moving slowly, like she was stuck in something thick. "I do not feel well," Emma told them. "The wine, there is something in the wine that's not right," Emma added. His face. I saw worry cross his face. "I feel it too," he said. "I never drink things that mortals drink. Tonight I did, and now everything is spinning." Emma and the man stood there still holding onto each other for balance, two strangers caught in the invisible net. Emma felt drawn to the man in a way she could not explain, as if some part of Emma recognized the man despite never having met the man. Emma did not know what it was about the man. Emma felt like she knew the man already. The man was a stranger. Emma felt a connection to the man that Emma could not understand. "We need to get from all these people," he said in a soft voice. "We should find a place where we can think clearly. Somewhere we can clear our heads. Be alone." "Emma." They walked down the hallway together, helping each other out. He took her up some stairs that she had never seen before. They went through hallways that got quieter and quieter. Her heart was beating fast. She did not know if it was because of the stuff in the wine or because this strange man was so close to her. Emma was feeling a little scared. The mysterious stranger was still with her. Emma did not know what to think of him. They kept walking and Emma's heart kept beating. She was thinking about the wine and the mysterious stranger. They found a room. At the end of a long hallway, the door was a little bit open. Inside the room was a sitting room. It was fancy. Did not look like it had been used in a while, with big windows that looked out over the gardens that were lit up by the moon. The man guided the woman to a soft velvet sofa, then he walked over to a side table where a pretty crystal decanter was sitting. It was filled with water. The man said, "Drink." He poured a glass for me. His hands were shaking a little. He thought the drink might help the situation. The man said, "It might help," as he handed me the glass of drink. Emma took the glass from him. When their fingers touched, it felt like something special. This touch made her feel a jolt, like when you touch something and you get a shock, but it was a nice feeling. She was really thirsty, so she drank the water. It felt so good going down. The water was cool. It helped her feel better because her body felt really hot. Then he got a glass of water for himself. He drank the whole thing in one big gulp. Emma saw him drink the water. She thought about the water she had just drunk. The glass of water had helped Emma. Now he was drinking a glass of water too. He asked if things were better now. Emma put her glass down. Looked at him really closely. She was not thinking clearly, but she could tell that he was not like other people. There was something about him, something that made him seem very powerful, but he was trying to keep it hidden. "Who are you?" she asked, wanting to know more about this man, about who this man was, about what made this man so different from everyone else. "Does it really matter?" His silver eyes looked into hers. She saw a lot of loneliness in them. It was an old and deep feeling that made her heart feel sad. Tonight the wine they drank did not matter, because they were two people who made a mistake with the wine they chose. Emma knew she should get out of there. She knew that being by herself, with someone she did not know, especially when she was not feeling well, was an idea and not very smart. Emma could not make herself get up and leave. Instead, Emma found herself doing something. She reached out and touched his face, feeling the edge of his jaw with her fingers. She said that the woman was beautiful, and she said it in a quiet voice. He closed his eyes like he was hurting. "Do not say things like that. I am having a time controlling myself right now." I am having a time because you are looking at me like that. Like what? I feel like I am someone who's worth wanting. It is a nice feeling when people think that I am worth wanting. I think that people should want to be around the people they like, and I am one of those people who's worth wanting. I mean, people should want to be my friend because I am worth wanting. Emma leaned in close to him. She did this because she felt like she had to, even though she did not know why. Emma kissed him softly and carefully, and he became very stiff when she touched him. For a moment he did not do anything. Emma thought that he might push her away from him. Then the man lost control of himself. Emma felt him kiss her back. He pulled Emma close. Kissed her. It was like he really needed to kiss her. This should have scared Emma. It did not. It felt like she was where she was supposed to be. Emma felt happy when he kissed her. She liked the way he tasted. She liked the way his hands touched her hair and her back. The wine made Emma feel free. This was different. This felt like it was coming from her heart, not the wine. He was kissing Emma. It felt like something real. Emma was lost in the way he was kissing her. The way his hands moved through her hair and down her spine felt nice. Emma felt happy when he touched her like that. This was not just because of the wine, it was because of the way he made Emma feel. Emma and he fell onto the sofa together. They were a mess of silk and shadow. He whispered words to Emma in languages that Emma did not understand. His touches hurt Emma. Made Emma feel better at the same time. Emma knew that Emma would be sorry about this later when Emma was thinking clearly. Emma knew that this was crazy. Right now Emma did not care. Now he was everything to Emma. When Emma finally collapsed, she was breathless and spent. Emma felt his fingers lace through hers in the darkness. Emma wanted to ask the name of the person she was with. She wanted to tell him her name, which Emma. But sleep was already pulling Emma under. It was heavy. She could not resist it. The last thing she remembered was the sound of his heartbeat beneath her ear. It was a weird feeling, but she was totally sure that she had just done something that would change her life forever. His heartbeat was still ringing in her ears. She could not shake off the feeling that her life was now going to be completely different because of what had just happened with him. Morning came fast and it was very rough. Emma woke up to the sun shining through windows that she did not know. Her head was hurting much, that it was the worst pain she had ever felt. It took her a moment to figure out where she was. Then it took her a few moments to understand that Emma was by herself. The room was empty. The man with eyes was not there anymore. He left no sign that he was ever in the room, except the sofa was still warm where he sat beside her. And she could feel the pain in her body, which told her that what happened night was really real. It was not just a dream. The man with eyes was really with her, and now he was gone. Emma sat up slowly. Her dress was all rumpled and torn. Her hair was a mess now, not nice and neat like she had fixed it. She started to feel scared as she looked around the room. The room was empty. There was no note from him. He did not leave her anything to remember him by. Emma wanted to know who this man was and where he went. She put her hand on her chest and felt her heart beating really fast under her hand. She could remember bits of what happened that night. It was like feelings than actual things that happened. She remembered the sound of his voice and the way he touched her. He even said her name in a voice, but she did not remember telling him her name. The weird thing was that she could not remember what he looked like. It was like the special wine made her forget his face on purpose. Emma stood up on legs and tried to fix her dress. She needed to get to her rooms before people saw that she was not there. Emma had to act like everything was normal. Emma had to forget about this night. Emma had to make herself believe that nothing bad had happened tonight. As she walked through the halls of Ashford Manor, she felt it in her bones that she would never forget. Something had changed inside of Ashford Manor's guest, a change that could not be changed back. Ashford Manor had left a mark on her that would stay with her forever, a mark that would always remind her of Ashford Manor. She had no idea at that moment how totally right she actually was. The thing is, she was going to find out that what she said was really true, and it was going to be very bad. She just did not know yet how bad things were going to get because of what she said. 6 weeks went by before Emma really got it, the deal with what happened that night. At first she felt a little sick to her stomach. It was not so bad, just a tiny bit of discomfort that she thought was because of being worried. Then she started to feel really tired all the time and dizzy, and her corsets began to feel really tight, around her middle. When Emma did not get her period, for the month in a row, she had to accept the truth that she had been trying really hard not to think about. Emma was going to have a baby. She fell to her knees in her room, one hand covering her mouth to stop herself from crying out loud. The news was too much to take in. How did this happen to her? She had always been very careful, done everything right, and never forgotten the rules that girls, like her, had to follow. Then one night changed everything. She had made a mistake because of too much wine and bad decisions, and now her whole life is messed up. She thought about the enchanted wine. How it had clouded her judgment, leading her to make that one terrible mistake. The private chambers that were once her space now felt like a reminder of her error, and she could not help but think about the rules that governed young women of her station, the same rules she had always tried to follow. She did not tell anyone at first. She wore dresses and stayed away from parties. The body can give away secrets, and the servants saw things. After 2 weeks, people in the house started talking about it in quiet voices. The servants noticed things about her body. They started to whisper to each other. The news of her secret spread quickly through the household, and people were talking about her in tones saying that her body was changing, and that was why she was wearing looser dresses and avoiding social events like the parties she used to attend, and that was why the servants were whispering about her. Victoria was the one to talk to her straight up. She walked into Emma's room without knocking on the door, and you could see on her face that she was really worried about something, but also kind of mad, at the same time. Victoria said to Emma, "The staff is talking. They are saying that you have been sick every morning. They are also saying that your clothes do not fit you like they used to. I want you to tell me that this is not true, Emma. I want you to tell me that you have not done something, Emma. Tell me the truth about your dresses, Emma." Emma just sat there at her writing desk. She could not think of what to say. The fact that Emma was not saying anything was her answer. "Oh, Emma." Victoria said this in a voice that did not sound very nice. She was not really sorry for Emma. "What did you do?" Victoria asked. "Our family did a lot for Emma. We took her in when her parents died. We gave her everything she needed. Now Emma does something bad to us." Victoria was very upset with Emma. "This is a way to say thank you to our family," Victoria said to Emma. "The thing is, it did not happen that way," Emma said in a quiet voice. "The wine they had at the gala was bad. Something was really wrong with the wine. I did not want anything like this to happen to the wine or to anyone. I feel bad about what happened with the wine." "The wine we all had?" Victoria's eyebrows went up. "That is really convenient for you. I guess you do not remember who the father of the baby is either? The wine we all had is what started all of this." Emma's hands were clenched tightly in her lap. She had tried hard to remember things about him. There were many nights when she did not sleep because she was trying to think about what happened. No matter how hard she tried, she just could not see his face clearly in her mind. She did remember some things about him. His eyes were a silver color. His hair was black. The sound of his voice was very deep, like the middle of the night. She did not know his name. She did not know where he lived. The thing that was really frustrating was that she had no way to find the man with the eyes and black hair. Emma said, "I do not know," and it felt really bad to her. The words felt bitter, like something was not right. Victoria's smile was really sharp, like a knife. "Then you are giving me no option." The family has to know what is going on. This is for your good, for the protection of you. The family must be told about this for your protection, of course, the protection of you," Victoria said. It did not take long for the news to spread. The servants were talking to each other in tones in the corners of the house. The family members all got together to discuss the situation. They were all very serious. Emma was called to see her uncle, Lord Theodore Whitmore. He was sitting behind his desk looking very much like a judge who was about to give a verdict on a serious matter. Lord Theodore Whitmore looked at Emma with a face. He told her that she had done something bad to their family. His voice was icy and firm. She was not married and did not have a boyfriend. She would not say who the father of her baby was. The Whitmore family could not let people think badly of them because of what she had done. The Whitmore name was important. They did not want it to be hurt any more by this situation. "My uncle would not let me finish," Emma said to herself. He stopped her from talking by holding up his hand. Emma wanted to say something to her uncle. He did not give her a chance. "You are going to be moved to the wing, which is away from where the family lives. The money that you get every month is going to be stopped. You will have to eat by yourself. You cannot talk to anyone outside of the family until we figure out what to do with you. We are talking about the wing, and what happens to you, and the family will make this decision about you and the East Wing." The isolation was immediate. It was absolute. Emma found herself alone in her home like a ghost walking around empty corridors. Her friends from before stopped calling her. She did not get any invitations anymore. The rich and important families, like the ones who used to want to be friends with the Whitmores, now stayed away from the Whitmores completely. Emma felt the baby growing inside her the time. The baby was innocent. Had no idea about all the trouble it was causing just by being there. Emma thought about the child. How it did not know anything about the problems it was creating. The child was a baby. It was growing inside Emma. The summons came on a cold morning. It had been 3 months since the gala. Emma carefully opened the letter by breaking the wax seal with her fingers, which were shaking a lot. She then read the writing on the paper. The writing was very fancy and nice to look at. Emma was reading the summons from the gala that happened 3 months ago. "You have to go to the Royal Assembly at the Crystal Court on the evening of the winter solstice. The Crystal Court is where this will take place. You must be there. If you do not go to the Crystal Court, you will be in trouble. The Royal Assembly at the Crystal Court needs you to be there. Not going to the Royal Assembly at the Crystal Court will result in people being unhappy with you." The Royal Chancellor signed it. Emma knew exactly what it really was. This was not something that said "come and join us." It was something that said "you are going to die." They would make Emma stand in front of the court so everyone could see how bad she was, and they would watch as she stood there all by herself with nobody to help the poor Emma. The people at the court would see that Emma had no one to stick up for her. On the evening of the winter solstice, Emma Whitmore went into the Crystal Court. She had on her dress. Emma Whitmore was holding her head high. This was even though people were talking about her behind her back. The whispers were like shadows that followed Emma Whitmore everywhere she went. Emma Whitmore put one hand on her stomach to protect it. She could feel the baby moving around under her hand. Whatever came next, she would face it with dignity. Even if dignity was all she had left, the Crystal Court really lived up to its name. It was so fancy. Every single thing you saw was made of stone and expensive gems. The big lights hanging from the ceiling were covered in diamonds. These diamonds made colors on the floor and walls when they sparkled. The people in the room looked at Emma when she walked in. She had eyes and she looked around at all the faces. Some people looked at her like they were interested. Others looked like they did not like her all. The Crystal Court was a fancy place. Emma was standing at the entrance of the Crystal Court. She walked forward slowly, taking one step at a time, and she did not want them to see that she was scared. The people moved out of her way like when you throw a stone into a lake and the water moves away. The rich people stepped back like they thought what happened to her was something they could catch. She heard people talking about her in voices and she felt like they were all looking down on her, but she kept looking straight ahead at the crowd and at the nobles, and she did not look away from the crowd. Chancellor Reeves said from the stage, his voice loud and clear across the room, "Lady Emma Whitmore, come forward and answer the questions that the people in this room are going to ask you." Emma walked to the middle of the room. She felt really exposed and vulnerable. Emma kept her hand on her stomach. This was something she did to protect herself. She could not help doing it. Emma was trying to feel safer by keeping her hand on her stomach. Lord Pemberton said to Lady Emma, "You are standing here and it is clear that you have done something. We need to know what happened. Lady Emma, the court wants to know who made you pregnant. Lady Emma, please tell us who the father of your baby is." The question was just hanging there waiting to drop like a knife. Emma opened her mouth. She did not know what to say. She could say that she did not know the answer. She could say that the enchanted wine had taken her memories away. Emma knew that they would never believe the enchanted wine had taken her memories away. They would never believe her about the enchanted wine. The woman said she could not say. She whispered this so quietly that you could hardly hear her voice. "Are you saying you cannot tell me or you will not tell me?" Lady Harrington asked, her eyes flashing with anger. Her jewels sparkled as she leaned forward in her seat. "You have to know who you were," with Lady Harrington said, looking at the person with a lot of suspicion. "Surely you must remember who you lay with," Lady Harrington repeated, her voice firm. "The wine at the Moonlight Gala was messed," with Emma said, speaking this time. "Someone put something in the wine. I do not remember everything that happened that night at the Moonlight Gala. My memories of the Moonlight Gala are not complete." People in the crowd started laughing. The laughter was mean and it made people feel like they did not care. The crowd was laughing at something. It sounded really cruel. The laughter was dismissive. It was like people were saying they did not think something was important. The crowd's laughter was loud. It was laughing at someone or something. Chancellor Reeves said this in a cold way. "It is pretty handy that this strange magic thing only happened to you. Lady Emma, you do not have a name that we know and you do not have any proof, so Lady Emma, we have no choice but to say that Lady Emma is a woman who is not very trustworthy and Lady Emma does not belong in nice society." Emma felt tears burning behind her eyes. She did not want to cry. She was not going to let the people who hurt her see her cry. Emma wanted to be strong. She did not want to give them the satisfaction of making her cry. Emma was determined to keep her tears to herself. Lord Pemberton said, "The child is a bastard." He went on to say that the child was born in a situation. People did things and that is why the child was born. Lord Pemberton and the others think the child should leave the Whitmore household away. The child should not be allowed to be around the people at court. Lord Pemberton and the others want the child to be gone for good. The words hit Emma hard. Emma swayed back and forth, her knees felt like they were going to give out. This was the moment she had been dreading. The end of everything she knew was happening. Emma would be left alone with nothing, no place to call home, no family to turn to, no future for herself or her little child. The thought of her child having no future was really scary for Emma. The temperature in the room really dropped. It was like the room got cold all of a sudden. The temperature in the room was not the same anymore. Something happened fast. Frost even formed on the wine glasses that were closest. People stopped talking in the middle of what they were saying. Every single person turned their head to look at the entrance. That is where a figure was now standing. The figure was really tall. It looked like it was in charge. The wine glasses had frost on them because it happened quickly. The figure was giving off a lot of power. This power was making the air around it shake. The figure at the entrance was tall and commanding. It was radiating power that made the air tremble. Lucian Nightshade, the person in charge of the territories walked into the crystal court like he owned the place. He had been in charge for a long time, so he was very confident. His black hair went down past his shoulders. His silver eyes looked around the room at all the people. He stared so hard that the important people could not look back at him. Lucian Nightshade wore a dark velvet suit with threads of silver. These clothes were really good at soaking up the light around him, so they did not shine at all. Emma's breath stopped. She knew this man. Even though her memories were not clear, her body knew him. It reacted to him being there. It was like her body remembered him, and that made her feel something strong. This feeling went deep inside of her. Lucian walked through the crowd. The nobles moved out of his way. They did this because they wanted to stay safe. Lucian kept walking until he reached Emma. He looked straight at her. Did not look away. Emma saw something in his eyes, which were a silver color. She saw confusion in the color of his eyes. She also saw that he knew her. She saw something that looked like he was hurt. Lucian said, "That is enough." His voice was loud and clear in the room. It was like a knife that cut through the silence. He stood next to Emma. He put one hand on her shoulder. This was a sign that he thought of her as his. Lucian was showing everyone that Emma belonged to him. "Your Majesty," Chancellor Reeve said, his voice shaking. He did not expect this to happen. "We were talking about something that has to do with Lady Emma. It is a bad situation." Lucian said this in a cold voice. "I know what is going on. I also know that you were going to make a decision about something that you do not know everything about," Lucian said. His tone was icy, like it could freeze fire when Lucian told him that. "My lord, this lady will not say who the father of her baby is. I think you will agree with me that she should be punished for doing something like this. The lady is being very stubborn. The father of her child is still a secret. This is a problem and something needs to be done about it. The lady and her child need to know who the father is, and he should take care of them. My lord, I hope you can do something to help us find out who the father of her child is." Lucien's hand got a little tighter on Emma's shoulder. She could feel that he was tense, that he was holding back a lot of power that was under his skin. The power was like something that was waiting to come out. It was making her feel a little uneasy. Lucian was really struggling to keep this power under control. Emma could feel it. Lucian said that she refuses. He said this slowly and on purpose. He said she refuses because he told her to be quiet. The baby that she is going to have is Lucien's baby. The room was really quiet for a moment. Emma could even hear her heartbeat. It was beating loud in her ears. Then something. The hall just exploded into noise. The hall was suddenly really loud. People were saying things like, "Oh my," all around. The nobles were looking at each other in shock, and they could not believe what they were hearing. The vampire sovereign was saying that a child of a woman belonged to him. This was something that had never happened before. It was a big deal, and a lot of people were upset about it. The vampire sovereign claiming this child was going to cause a lot of problems. Emma looked up at Lucian. She was really confused. Why did Lucian do this? Why did Lucian say the child was his when that was not possible? The timing was all wrong. The situation was impossible. Lucian just stood there. His silver eyes looked at Emma. The way he looked at her took her breath away. Emma could not understand why Lucian was doing this. Lucien's actions did not make sense to Emma. Lord Pemberton said, "This is really strange." His face was very pale. "Your Majesty, you cannot be serious about saying this child will be your heir, Your Majesty," Lord Pemberton said. "I am saying what I mean." Lucien's voice did not allow for any disagreement. "Lady Emma is a person who is being protected by me. The child belongs to me. If anyone says something about Lady Emma's honor again, they will have to deal with me directly." The threat was really scary. You could feel it. Nobody said a word. Lucian looked down at Emma. He seemed nervous for a second. Emma saw something in his face that she had not seen before. It was like he was scared or something. "Play along," he said quietly. Only Emma could hear him. He told Emma to trust him. He said that if she did he would make sure she was okay. Lucian said he would keep Emma safe. Emma did not understand, she really could not understand. She nodded anyway. What choice was there for Emma to make in this situation? Emma had to go along with it, so she just nodded. "Lady Emma is going to come with me to the Shadow Palace right now," Lucian said to the group of people. "Lady Emma will stay safe with me until her baby is born, and after that. The decision about Lady Emma and her baby is final," Lucian said, "so we will not talk about it anymore." He walked with Emma towards the exit, his hand on her shoulder the time. The vampire guards came out of the dark. Stood around them in a circle to keep them safe. Emma was really confused. Her mind was trying to figure out what had just happened to her, and the vampire guards were still around them. The vampire guards stayed close to Emma as she walked. The woman who had fallen from grace was now shunned by everyone. The child who was born out of wedlock was now heir. Emma had no idea what was going on with the woman who had fallen and the bastard child who was now a royal heir. The Shadow Palace came up from the mountainside like a black and silver crown. It had towers that went up into the dark sky that always seemed to be twilight over the vampire territory. Emma was sitting in the carriage next to Lucian. She could feel the quiet between them. She knew the guards were riding along with them. Emma thought about how big of a deal what just happened was. The Shadow Palace and the vampire territory were really something to think about. Emma looked over at Lucian. Then back, at the Shadow Palace. She asked this question after a time. "Why did you do that?" she said. Her voice was really quiet. You could hardly hear what the woman was saying. Lucian did not look at her. His eyes were fixed on the things passing by outside. He said, "You needed to be saved and I needed to fix a problem that had to do with politics. This deal is good for Lucian. It is good for her too." "What political problem?" "The Vampire Council has been on my case to get a consort and have a kid. They think it will help me keep my place and stop others from trying to take over. When I heard about your situation I saw a chance to make it work for me. The Vampire Council thinks that if I have a consort and an heir it will make my rule stronger and people will not question my authority. Your situation was what I needed to make this happen with the Vampire Council." Emma's hand went to her stomach to keep her baby safe. "So you are using my child to get what you want in politics?" Lucian said, "I am offering you the protection that you really need. Without me saying that the child is mine you would have been sent away. It is possible that you could have been killed. Your child would have been called a bastard. People would have thought badly of them even before they were born. With me saying that the child is mine you and your child can have a good life and a future to look forward to. Lucian is giving you and your child a chance to be safe and happy. That is what Lucian wants for you and your child." He was right. That really bothered Emma. She did not like it when he was right. "So what is in it for you besides making your council happy?" "Time," Lucian said quietly. "Time is really running out. We need to find another solution. The thing is Lucian does not want to be forced into a binding that Lucian does not want. Time is what Lucian needs to avoid this situation." The carriage went through big gates and into the grounds of the palace. There were gardens of flowers that bloom at night all around, and these flowers had petals that were silver and violet because it was always a little dark. The palace grounds were full of these night-blooming flowers. Lucian kept talking as the carriage came to a stop. "There are rules we have to follow," he said. "The rules are simple. In public people know you are my partner. You have to go to events and act like you are supposed to. You have to help people believe the story we made up. When we are alone inside these walls you can do what you want. Lucian will not bother you. Ask you for anything unless it is really necessary for politics. Lucian wants you to know that. The rules are in place for a reason. That reason is politics. Lucian will respect your space. You can live your life as you want as long as you follow the rules when we are in public and you are my acknowledged consort. Emma looked at his profile. She saw how good-looking he was, the lines of his face, the sad feeling that seemed to come from him like a chill. After the baby is born, we are going to take another look at the arrangement. His silver eyes finally met Emma's eyes. Emma will always have his protection. That is what he promises to Emma. He promises Emma that she will be safe. This was a good deal. It was better than what other people had offered her. She had not expected to get this much. She should have been happy about it. The amount was more than she thought she would get. It was an offer and she should have been thankful for the money. She felt like she had swapped one prison for another. This new one was fancy. It was still a prison. The woman felt trapped, like she had not really gained her freedom. She was stuck in this place and it did not feel much different from the old one, even though it looked nicer. The rooms that Lucian gave her were really beautiful. They had high ceilings with pictures of stars on them. The furniture was made of wood and had deep purple velvet on it. The windows looked out over some gardens that had plants that glowed in the dark. A group of servants came to help her with everything she needed. They bowed to her with a lot of respect, which was something she had not seen in a long time. The gardens with the flora were especially nice to look at, from the windows of the chambers that Lucian provided. But beautiful cages were still cages. Emma got used to a weird daily life over the next few weeks. She went to events with Lucian wearing beautiful dresses that were midnight blue and silver. Emma played the part of a partner when she was with Lucian. People with titles would whisper to each other behind their fancy fans. Emma would smile when she had to talk when someone spoke to her. She was really good at pretending everything was fine. She did all of this with a lot of practice. It looked very natural. Emma and Lucian were always together at these events, with Emma wearing those beautiful midnight silver dresses. She did not see Lucian much when they were alone. Lucian stayed in his rooms and did his work with the doors closed. He was nice to her. He did not get too close. Sometimes she would wake up in the middle of the night. Feel like someone was looking at her. It was like there was someone hiding in the part of her room, but when she looked around, Lucian was not there. One evening Emma was looking for a book to read in Lucian's library. She found a drawer that was not closed all the way. Inside the drawer Emma found letters that were tied together with a ribbon. Emma knew that she should not read the letters. She really wanted to know what they said. So she started reading the letters from Lucian's drawer, even though she knew it was not an idea. The top letter was written a few days ago. It was written in Lucian's nice handwriting, the kind that people call elegant script. The letter from Lucian was right at the top. I need to keep looking. There has to be someone at the gala who remembers the girl. It is not possible that the enchantment made everyone forget about her. The girl existed. The girl was real. I have to find the girl. Emma's hands were shaking really badly as she kept reading more of the stuff that was written. I need to know her name. I need to know where her house is. I need to know anything about her. The memory of that night is still bothering me. I remember the taste of her. I remember the sound of her voice. I remember the way she looked at me like I was a person who was worth something, not a person with a crown. I will not be able to rest until I find her. I have to find her. The memory of her is always on my mind. I need to find out more about her name, about her house. The words started to blur because tears were filling up Emma's eyes. This man was looking for someone. The woman was, from his past. The woman he couldn't forget was the one he was searching for. A woman who wasn't her. Emma slowly put the letters back. It hurt her heart. This pain was not hers to feel. Lucien's words were something he said to help himself. He did not really care about Emma. To Lucien, Emma was a way to solve a problem. That is all Emma was to him. Emma was nothing than a solution, to Lucien. But knowing the truth didn't stop it from hurting. She started to see things that caught her attention. The way Lucien would look away into the distance when they were having a dinner together, his face looked really far away and like he was wanting something. There were nights when he would go out and not come back for hours, and when he did come back he looked really upset. You could see it all over his face. One time she heard him talking to the captain of his guards, in the hallway. "Is there any progress?" Lucien's voice sounded really strained. "No one can recall anything, my lord. Nobody saw you with a woman that night. The magic spell messed up a lot of people's memories. The enchantment really did affect many memories. You really need to search. Ask every person who was there what they know. I have to find the girl. I must find the girl no matter what it takes." The desperation in his voice was a blade to Emma's chest. She pulled away from everyone after that. She still put on a face for people to see, but deep down she was hiding. When Lucien came to her room at night, he would stand in the dark. Listen to her. She would close her eyes. Pretend to be asleep. Lucien would look at her with much love in his eyes, but she knew it was not really meant for her. She could not look at Lucien. See that love because it was meant for someone else, not for her. The baby was getting stronger inside her. It was moving around a lot. This was a reminder of that one night. That night changed everything. Lucien did not remember that night either. He was looking really hard for the woman he was with that night. The baby and that night were always on her mind. Now Lucien was searching for her, the woman who had been with him that night. The irony was almost funny. Almost. 3 months had passed since Emma moved into the Shadow Palace. One morning Emma woke up to find a letter that someone had slipped under her door. The handwriting on the letter was Victoria's. Emma knew it away. She felt a feeling in her stomach when she opened the letter. "Dear Emma, I hope you are doing well in your life. I wanted to talk to you cousin to cousin and say congratulations on your luck. It is crazy that something that was a problem for you turned out to be a thing. There are still some things I do not understand. Like how things happened at the time. I have been talking to people who know about medicine and people who are smart, trying to learn more about vampires and how they have babies. I found out that when a vampire is pregnant there are some signs that happen. Vampire pregnancies are really interesting. I want to know more about them, Emma. Vampire reproduction is something that I am still trying to understand. I think it is connected to your situation, Emma. There are some things that set them apart from things that people think of. I wanted to tell you this in case someone wants to check if what you are saying is true. My family always looks out for each other. That is what family is for. Family is really important to me. With love, Victoria."